if one is attached to all that, then it's impossible, naturally, to discover that which is original. You understand the problem? That is, if my mind, my brain, is conditioned by the Hindu superstition, beliefs, dogmas, idolatry, with all the ancient tradition, my mind then is anchored to that. Therefore it cannot move. It's not free. Therefore, one must be freed completely from all that being a Hindu. Right? Similarly, one must be free totally from all the inventions of thought as the rituals, dogmas, beliefs, symbols, the saviors and so on of Christianity. That may be rather difficult, that's coming nearer home. Or, if you go to Ceylon or the Tibetan, North, Buddhism, with all their idolatry, as the idolatry of Christianity, they too have this problem, being attached as security to the things thought has invented. So all religions, whether Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, or Buddhism, they are the movement of thought continued through time, through literature, through symbols, through things made by the hand or by the mind. All that is considered religious in the modern world. To the speaker, that's not religion. To the speaker, it's a form of illusion, comforting, satisfying, romantic, sentimental, but not actual. Because religion must affect life, the way we live. That is the significance of life. Because then only when there is order, as we talked about yesterday, in our life, order is something that is totally disassociated with a disorder. We live in disorder. That is in conflict, contradiction, say one thing, do another, think one thing, and act another way. That is contradiction. Where there is contradiction, which is division, there must be disorder. And a religious mind is completely without disorder. That is the foundation of religious life. Not all the nonsense that's going on with the gurus with their idiocies. You know, that's the most extraordinary thing. Many gurus have come to see the speaker. Many of them. Because they think I attack the gurus. They want to persuade me not to attack, They say what you are saying and what you are living is the absolute truth, but not for us. Because we must help those people who are not fully advanced as you are. You see the game they play instead? So, one wonders why the Western world, or some of the Western people, go to India, follow these gurus, get initiated, whatever that may mean, put on different robes, and think they're terribly religious. But strip them of their robes, stop them, inquire into their life. They're just like you and me. So the idea of going somewhere to find enlightenment, changing your name to some Sanskrit name, seems to strangely absurd and romantic without any reality. But thousands are doing it. Probably it's a form of amusement. Without much meaning. The speaker is not attacking. Please, let's understand, we are not attacking anything, we're just observing. Observing the absurdity of the human mind. How easily we are doubt, how easily we are caught. We are so gullible. So, a religious mind is a very factual mind. It deals with facts. That is, what is facts being, what is actually happening with the world outside and the world inside. The world outside is the expression of what is the world of inside. There is no division between the outer and the inner. That's too long to go into. So, a religious life is a life of order, diligence, dealing with what is actually happening within oneself, without any illusion, so that one leads an orderly, righteous life. When that is established unshakably, then we can begin to inquire what is meditation. Perhaps that word did not exist about 20 years ago or 30 years ago in the Western world. The Eastern gurus have brought it over here. There is the Tibetan meditation, Zen meditation, the Hindu meditation, the particular meditation of a particular guru, the meditation of yoga, sitting cross-legged, breathing, all that is called meditation. We are not denigrating the people who do all this. We are just pointing out how absurd meditation has become. The Christian world believe in contemplation. Giving themselves over to the will of God, grace, and so on. They have the same thing in the Asiatic world, only they use different words in Sanskrit. But it's the same thing. Man seeking some kind of everlasting security, happiness, peace, not finding it on earth, hoping it exists somewhere or other. The desperate search for something imperishable. This has been the search of man from time beyond measure. The ancient Egyptians, the ancient Hindus, Buddhists, and so on, and some of the Christians have followed this. So, to inquire together, to go deeply into what is meditation, and whether there is anything called sacred, holy, not the thing that thought is invented as being holy. That's not holy. What thought creates is not holy, is not sacred, because it's based on knowledge, and knowledge being incomplete. And whatever thought invents, how can that be sacred? But we worship that which thought has invented all over the world. So, together, having established some partially, others completely, totally, order in their life, in their behavior, in which there is no contradiction whatsoever, having established that and rejecting, totally rejecting all the various forms of meditation, their systems, their practices. Because when you practice, you are repeating over and over and over again. Like a pianist, if he practices, he may be practicing the wrong note. You understand? So it's easy to conform to a pattern, to obey something somebody has said that will help you to reach the higher state of whatever it is. So you practice, you accept systems because you want to get something other than what is. Now we are saying quite the contrary. There is no system, no practice, but the clarity of perception of a mind that is free, which has no direction, no choice, but free to observe. Most meditations have this problem, which is controlling thought. The one who practices is different from that which he is practicing. I hope you're following all this, if it interests you. So most meditation, whether the Zen, the Hindu, the Buddhist, the Christian, or the latest guru, is to control your thought. Because through control, you centralize, you bring all your energy to a particular point. That is, concentrate. Which is, there is a controller different from the controlled. You understand? Are following on? Which is, the controller is the past, which is still thought, still memory. And that which is controlling is still thought, which is wandering off. So there is conflict. Thought, you are sitting quietly, and thought goes off. You want to concentrate, like a schoolboy looking out of the window, and the teacher says, don't look out of the window, concentrate on your book. And we do the same thing. So one has to learn the fact the controller is the controlled. Is that clear? Must all this be explained step by step? That is, I'll explain, please. The controller, the thinker, the experiencer, we think is different from the controlled, from the movement of thought, from the experiencer and the experience. We think these two are different movements. But if you observe closely, the thinker is the thought. Thought has made the thinker separate from thought, which then he says, I must control. You following me? This is so logical, so sane. So when there is the controller is the controlled, then you remove totally conflict. Conflict exists only when there is division, right? Between you and the Germans, between the Israel and the Arabs, where there is nationalistic or economic or social division, there must be conflict. So inwardly, where there is the division between the observer, the one who witnesses, the one who experiences, is different from that which is experienced, there must be conflict. And our life is conflict, because we live with this division. But this division is fallacious, is not real. It's become our habit, our culture to control. We never see the controller is the controlled, right? You get all this? So, when one realizes that, not verbally, not idealistically, not as a something, an utopian state for which you have to struggle, but to observe it actually in one's real life, that the controller is the controlled. Thought, the thinker is the thought. Then whole pattern of our thinking undergoes a radical change, because there is no conflict. And that is absolutely necessary if you are meditating. That meditation demands a mind that is highly compassionate and therefore highly intelligent. The intelligence which is born out of love, not out of cunning thought. So, meditation means the establishment of order in our daily life, in which there is no contradiction. Then, rejecting totally all the systems, meditations, all that. Because the mind must be completely free, without direction. And also, it means a mind that is completely silent. Is that possible? Because we are chattering endlessly. Moment you leave this place, I know you'll start chattering. So our minds occupied, chattering, thinking, struggling. And so there is no space. No space is necessary to have silence. But a mind that's practicing, struggling, wanting to be silent is never silent. But when it sees that silence is absolutely necessary, not the silence projected by thought, not the silence between two notes, between two noises, between two walls, but the silence of order. And when there's that absolute silence, not cultivated silence, which is what most meditations try to do, cultivate silence. That is, cultivate thought which is never silent. I don't know if you see the absurdity of it. So when there is that silence, then one discovers, no, sorry, not one doesn't discover. In that silence, truth, which has no path to it, exists. Truth then is timeless, sacred, incorruptible. That is meditation. That is a religious mind.